Willkommen, bienvenue, welcome once again to a live stream. As the keener-eyed amongst you will notice, in the virtual studio is the inimitable Karen Bashford, an empowerment mentor and a holistic support person you can go to that will find the way in which to best support your natural body's processes. But one of the things that she was telling me that we've not really spoken about much, but which is very important to what she does, is soul growth and soul healing. Now, I'm an idiot. I know very little about this sort of stuff. So, Karen, what incarnation is that?
Well, for me, soul growth and soul healing is very much about connecting you back to your inner child. Your inner child, for me, is very much your soul. I know for psychotherapists and such, like, the inner child is literally the child that you were. My inner child is that child that's been through every life with you. So basically, it's your soul.
So it's it's the fundamental part of you.
Absolutely. You can't live without your soul.
And you're talking about two things here, and they at first sight might seem the same, but to me they seem to be quite different. One is soul growth, and the other one is soul healing. So let's take the second first. Soul healing. What is that about? What does that mean?
When I work with clients, we take a route that literally will take you anywhere that you need to go, whether that's through family history, whether that's through your past lives, whether that's just through generational, cultural, land, anything like that. It will bring you to that place.
Right, but so that could be a process that is. It doesn't sound like a process that's particularly comfortable.
It is, because they find things out about themselves that allow them to be themselves rather than the person that they've been. But the thing about it is they don't have to have the story. They can just access the information that will come with the connection. So I'll give you
you don't have to have the story.
No, I'll give you an example. I worked with a client recently who had, I felt, a past life connection that was blocking her. We'd done a lot of work already, and there was this past life connection that I kept picking up on, but I couldn't work out what it was. And interestingly enough, when we did the work together, she actually found an old shepherd who literally was sitting with his sheep. She didn't know what the story was behind it. She met him and asked questions of him, and he guided her to the information she needed to be able to deal with an issue that was actually blocking her from being her true self. That meant that she was holding on to things that no longer served her from lives ago, because whether you believe it or not, we all have past lives, and there's more than enough evidence now to confirm there are past lives.
So if you were to hang on to elements, is it a good idea to let go?
Absolutely. Why not? Why hold on to something that's no longer serving you?
Well, that's a good answer. All right. So, but a lot of people, I mean, it seems, look around me, people don't tend to let go of stuff that's happened to them before, even if it's in their current life.
No, because they're fearful of what the unknown is. But the sad thing about it is the longer they hold on to it, the more damage it potentially could do to your body, because everything that's happened to us can be stored within our body's knowledge and wisdom. But the knowledge is not necessarily beneficial. It can be harmful. So until you actually recognize there is possibly a problem that you're not dealt with, it could be like for this woman, it was a case of she wasn't willing to let go of a family situation that had been repeating through generations. She was the one that needed to do the work to be able to release herself, but also her family, because the one thing most people do not realize is when you do work on yourself at the soul level, it impacts the rest of your family going forward.
Is that because you changed the way you you deal with them.
You change your energy, and in changing your energy, because we are all connected, every time you change energy, you change your children's energy, your relatives' energies, and also the collective, basically.
So let me see. You always give me pause for thought here.
I like that.
So I suppose the first job there is to identify what it is in a past life that you're holding on to. Do you need to identify why you're holding on to it?
Don't need to identify why, and you don't even need to identify what. She was just guided to take some action, to follow a path, in fact, that led her to then a place where she could resolve the issue. She connected to her nan, who'd been passed for quite a while, who then gave her some information that allowed her to then find the solution to the problem that she was facing all the time. And it was something, because I can't remember exactly what it was, because the way I work is I don't need to hear what's going on for the client. They do the work and then they inform me afterwards what's happened. So there's no need for me to be hearing of anything they're facing unless they're uncertain and need some guidance. But they're always safe. They're never unsafe in doing this work.
So let's talk about like before and after. So before, you are held back, you're blocked from what? From dealing with a situation.
You
Right.
self-sabotage. You can have health issues. You can have financial problems. You can have situations where your relationships are challenging all the time.
But in each case, it's because you're not dealing with something,
yeah,
and that's stopping you from moving on.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So it's a bit like you come to you're going along the road, a big hole in front of you. You can't jump it, you can't get around it, and until you fill that hole in, you can't move forward.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's, now talk to me about soul growth.
Right. Once you've done the work to release yourself from anything that's holding you back, you can then start implementing through processes that I help you with to start imagining and creating in your real life, in your current reality, the things that you want to have. So if you wanted more money, you can have more money.
Is this the M word, the manifest?
It is, but
it's very popular at the moment.
Yeah, manifesting is great, but you still have to take action. So what we do when I'm working with clients is to have them actually visualize a change in their energy. So manifestation is very much about not just what you think, but how your body is responding to situations within your life. If you're in a place where you're not particularly happy, your energy is going to be low. So your vibrational energy going out to other people and the universe is low. You're not going to attract anything at all if you've got low energy. If you're just repeating the same stories, you've got to up your energy by changing what you're saying and what you're believing. And that's what soul growth is about. It's creating that shift that then allows you to physically create, in whatever way, shape or form you consider it appropriate, what you're desiring.
Okay.
Sorry, I always confuse you.
No, that's not confusion. I'm just absorbing. I'm only a man, you know. Right.
Don't put yourself down.
Once you've gotten that, does that mean you can just move ahead willy-nilly, or could there be other times?
There's always going to be something coming up, but the way I work is that they can then access their own inner child and find the answers for themselves. If they need my help, I am available. We have an agreement whereby they can reach out to me and they can, work with me again, short term. Even just one phone call will often solve a problem that they're facing.
So are you acting as a conduit here?
Yes and no, in the sense of I can tap into what's going on for them.
Right.
So I know where that I need to guide them. But they do all the work. I'm not doing the work. I'm literally holding the space so that they're safe for whatever they're doing. Nothing can interfere with them. But I'm also guiding them. So they tell me things that are happening. So I can say to them, well, look at it from this perspective, or do this with it. Let's look at it in a different way, because sometimes we do offer resistance to any kind of healing we're going through, because we don't want to face the reality that this is going to change our lives, because change is scary at times.
Change can be very hard, especially if you've spent the entirety of your life up to that point either believing a certain set of things or doing a certain set of actions. To then say you now need to think slightly differently and act slightly differently, that can be a big ask.
But the thing about it is, with the way I work, is they will see the results practically straight away. So like with this client I've been working with, she has already seen an increase in her income.
Right.
And that's in one 90-minute session.
That's brilliant.
So she's increased her income. Relationships with certain people have improved. Her physical health has improved, whereas before she's got ME, so she'd get very, very tired very, very quickly. She's actually doing a lot more things without that tiredness appearing for a while. Generally, her business is picking up. She's doing things in the business that have always been a struggle. Now it's a case of, yeah, I'm going to do it. We're getting it out of the way. It's done with. And her eating is better because she feels better within herself. And her body has already started to heal itself from any additional illnesses apart from ME she has, because she's telling me things have changed, and that wouldn't happen if she hadn't done the work with me.
So if you were to summarize the benefits of soul healing and soul growth, could you do that for me now?
You feel lighter. You no longer have the voice in your head going, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that. It's like it goes, we can do this. This is okay. This is safe to do. You actually feel safe within yourself. So things that have made you feel unsafe previously will have changed. So you're no longer facing situations that would have made you say, no, I can't do this, because you're actually feeling safe in yourself. And when you feel safe in yourself, you're more inclined to do challenging things because you can. There's nothing to stop you from doing it. There's no voice in your head going, oh, you can't do that. Why would you want to do that? That's not safe for you.
Right. And what would be a time when someone should really look at this? What were the indicators, the symptoms, if you like?
The symptoms are they've got ongoing illnesses that never seem to get better, or they're getting worse. They're self-sabotaging their relationships. So they're in a relationship, but they're always finding fault with it, or they're constantly breaking relationships because they're not comfortable in a relationship. Financially, they could be challenged. So they have this sort of highs and lows. That's fine. There's a reason behind those highs and lows, because there's something about you that's saying, I'm not entitled to money, or I don't deserve money. Right. Or if I have money, somebody else will think I'm greedy. Yeah, okay. So you can't have money, but somebody else can. It's a lot of self-sabotaging going on. But often my clients...
That's exactly what I was going to say. That's exactly what I was going to say. So
my clients will often... Sorry. My clients will often...
I'm taking a drink now.
My clients will often say to me that they've done a lot of work on themselves already, but they still feel there's something actually blocking them and they don't know what it is. That's fine. I love those kinds of challenges, because usually within 5 minutes of having a conversation, I can tell them what it is.
All right. Well, you heard it here first. If there is something that's blocking you, if you feel that you've been stuck in the same pattern or same basic ailment for a long period of time, if you feel that blocked, then have a conversation with Karen. I've put down the bottom here the KarenBashford.com website. Please do go along and have a look at it. Karen at KarenBashford.com, and she will at least be able to start the interaction. And thank you once again, Karen, for explaining it to me. I am gradually learning more, but it's a process, guys. It's a process. I wish you all the most wondrous of weeks, and keep your feet on the ground, keep reaching for the stars, and do look after that mental health. Bye-bye now.
Bye.